Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard, and I am an alcoholic.
My name is Dave, and I'm an alcoholic.
Is there any more alcoholics in tonight? Thank you. My name is Richard. I'm Rob's brother. There's Dave also here, and Steve, who's absent. So we're 4 boys. But today, I can announce I am officially the best man. For the first time. Rob, I hope you enjoyed your little 5-minute speech on Friday at the rehearsal dinner. Because as of this moment, that's the last chance you're likely to have 5 minutes without interruption. First of all, I'd just like to say what an amazing job Rob and Heather has done to organise such a brilliant day and such a fun few days running up to today's events. They've entertained all of us that have travelled from afar. Over the last few days, we have been anxiously looking at the weather forecast for the big event, but Rob has just said to me how lucky it was it stayed dry for yesterday's golf game. Rob took Mum and I to the Mall on Friday where we had some lunch. I had some curried pelican. Not bad, but the bill was enormous. There's more to come. Heather, you're looking beautiful as ever. You're charming, friendly, sweet and smart. And I think everyone in this room today will agree that Heather deserves a great husband. I'm sure you'll also agree with me, gentlemen, that today is a sad day for single men, as another beauty leaves the available list. And ladies, I'm sure you also agree that today's, well, just another day. I would like to thank you all for coming today and helping to make Rob and Heather's wedding such a memorable and special occasion. Personally, I wish you'd all stayed at home. It made my job less nerve-wracking. My legs are now trembling, but it is a pleasure to meet you. Somebody should tell my stomach that it's a privilege. This is the 4th time in the last hour I've stood up from a warm seat with a piece of paper in my hand. As I will now show you, it now says fornication on my piece of paper. But thank you for sharing that with us earlier. So for all occasions like today, it's customary to highlight that the bridesmaids, Caroline and Vicky, look absolutely smashing today and are only rightly outshone by our gorgeous bride Heather.
Yes!
Personally, I would like to toast the bridesmaids. Sorry, typo. It was last minute. So could I ask you all to be upstanding to toast to the beautiful bridesmaids, Caroline and Vicky? You'll all agree, we don't need Pippa Middleton here. Do we? My legs are still trembling. When Rob asked me to be the best man, I felt extremely honoured. This didn't take long to change the apprehension. A wise man once said, being a best man is like making love to the Queen of England. It's a real honour, but nobody really wants to do it. Unfortunately, included in this role of best man comes the writing of a speech. Having never had to write such a speech in my past, I turned to the most trustworthy friend I have for help, the internet. With a multitude of resources at my fingertips, I began to search, and after a few hours, I found some really good stuff. Oh, sorry, then I remembered I was supposed to be looking for a best man speech. I got all the viruses off, it took me 3 hours. I did actually find some really good speeches, but unfortunately none of them were about a couple named Rob and Heather, so I didn't use them, and now you're going through the paint marrow. I didn't want to paint Rob in any bad light at all in front of his family and his friends. So I started out by listing things I probably shouldn't cover in my speech. To Rob, don't panic. I'm definitely not going to mention anything about your drinking, or your dribbling, or to say anything about the noises you make when you get out of bed in the morning. Remember, I did spend a couple of nights in Dublin with you. Rob collects empty bottles. It sounds so much better than being an alcoholic, doesn't it? When Rob was younger, his fairy godmother asked him if he wanted a long penis or a long memory. He's forgotten the response. He quit his job from the helium gas factory as he refused to be spoken in that tone. Rob was going to join the local debating club, but Heather talked him out of it. Rob got fired from one of his first jobs with lastminute.com. He was always late. And Rob, you have no money worries. You're set up for life, just as long as you die on Tuesday. I hope you knew that. I wanted to talk about the stag do in my speech, but as the saying goes, what happens on a stag do stays on a stag do. Anyway, moving on. While preparing this speech, I kept getting very sentimental and decided to get out a few old photos. I had trouble controlling the tears as I turned the pages, and the one picture that stood out from the others was a striking photo of little Rob lying on that setting, drooling and dribbling at the camera lens. Oh God, how cute he looked as he tried to stand up on his little wobbly legs. Rob, I'll never forget your stag party in Dublin 2 weeks ago. Thanks to Ken and Tom for your photo evidence. Rob was born in 1967 in Bristol, England. The staff in the maternity ward at Southend Hospital still refer to August the 29th as Ugly Baby Tuesday. I'm afraid I don't have any funny stories about Rob's early years, but his mum has told me that he was very different to the majority of the 4-year-olds in the class at primary school. He was 12. So I've just got enough time left for some relationship advice, and I am the best person to give it. I am the best man. I was involved in a one-night stand that went terribly wrong. Being married to my wife, Sally, for 25 years this August, has taught there was a joke there. For 25 years this August has taught me to never go to bed cross, stay up and argue. You're going to lose anyway, so get it over and done with. They say that opposites attract, but try explaining that to my short, ugly wife. No, seriously, my wife is beautiful. She has an ass like Jello. I always find it difficult to say what my wife actually does. She sells seashells on the seashore. Difficult to say. She sells seashells on the seashore. She'd never repeat a joke. It's not true that married men live longer than single men. It only seems longer. Thanks, Tommy. Remember, the key to a successful marriage is a good sense of humour and a short memory. Keep your marriage pure and simple. Heather's pure, Rob's simple. Marriage is not only about finding the perfect partner, but also about being one. Good marriages begin when you marry the one you love, and they blossom when you love the one you've married. When you're wrong, admit it. And when you're right, shut up. I wish I could learn that. No, seriously, Rob, you have so many good qualities, not the least of which is the ability to appreciate the finer things in life. Well, after all, you picked Heather, didn't you? Keep in mind, helping around the house is not a bad idea either. While Confucius says, man who sinks into woman's arms soon has his arms in woman's sink. I know from the crime statistics in Boston that there's not been many cases where a wife has shot her husband while cleaning the dishes. There are only 2 times in a man's life when he can't understand women: before marriage and after marriage. I kid a lot, but remember, Rob, that a man is not complete until he finds a wife. Then he's finished. And also remember that a man who gives in when he is wrong is a wise man, but a man who gives in when he is right is married. Rob, I can give you some more suggestions. Why don't you carry a picture of Heather in your wallet? Whenever you encounter a problem, just look at the photo and the problem seems to clarify itself or disappear. That shows what a miraculous and powerful influence she has on you. Similarly, Heather, you should carry a photograph of Rob in your purse. And whenever you encounter a problem, you can take it out and look at the picture and say to yourself, what problem can possibly be greater than this? In anticipation of this weekend, I've been given lots of advice, and I sought some from some friends who've been much in love and who've been married for many years. They are an amazing couple. Their advice to you is, take the time to go to a little restaurant twice a week. A little candlelight dinner, a nice glass of wine, soft music, and a slow walk home. Rob, you should go on Tuesday, Heather Fridays. I hope that I'm not going to take my audience for granted today, but I would like to address this before you give me a standing ovation. I knew you were going to like that. Now that my job is coming to an end, can I please say thanks to Rob for asking me to be his best man today. It's a great honour to be asked, and I'm very proud to be part of the day that Rob and Heather have tied the knot. You two are so calm, level-headed, and thoughtful towards one another. I know you are going to have a fulfilling married life and will greatly enjoy every second of one another's company. You are a fantastic couple, and I wish you every happiness in what I'm sure will be a long and happy marriage. Please can I ask you again to be upstanding for a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Emsley, Rob and Heather.